call myself a trailblazer for Sista Peace because I am a little further down the road than many, but this is still something, being peaceful is still something that I work on every day. And in fact, teaching about the tools of inner peace help me, hone my skills and all this. So the story I want to share is one that is really about how recently I've transformed a worry, a stress into inner peace. I'm pretty good with not worrying about things. I don't have a lot of anxieties. And so I think because of that, sometimes I don't even notice when these things creep in. And that's why we need a community. That's why we need our friends because they help us when we're not even aware of these things. And the first step to changing anything, the first step to making any transformation, the first step to capturing, cultivating, and holding on to your inner peace is to be aware that there is an issue. Be aware that you need to make a mindset shift. So, one of my best friends, Kelly, who happens to be here, comes to visit with us with my mom to go visit my grandmother who just turned 97. And you may have recently seen some of the wonderful videos of me dancing with my grandmother. Well, when we first started visiting, before Kelly came, especially, it was a little stressful. Being my grandmother is wonderful and she's well cared for. So it wasn't anything about my grandmother, but I realized that going to visit her would start this worry in my head. I didn't realize it at the time, but this worry about what my life would be like when I'm 90s, in my 90s, what it would feel like to have people care for me and have to care for me and how vulnerable I would be. And all of that started kind of this cascade of worry in my head that was something that was below my consciousness. So what I would feel is not a lot of joy in visiting her, but just kind of, well, this was obligation. I needed to do it. It was important, but it wasn't particularly fun. When Kelly started visiting with us, and Kelly's a speech language pathologist and loves working with little ones and with elders. And so Kelly's joy, like just totally enjoyed going to visit. It was oozing out of every pore of her from her. And it was a little, like emotions are. Started to kind of get to me, also started helping me realize that I wasn't feeling the same kind of joy and started me questioning. And Kelly, talking to me about what her observations of my experience started me noticing that I didn't have this joy in visiting my grandmother. And then Kelly started doing things, helping us do things, trying to find ways to connect with my grandmother, playing music, looking at books. I printed out pictures of the family and we looked through books. But the one that started transforming things for me was music, uh, playing music, which is ironically one of the tools that I teach everybody is to have playlists for energizing you, playlists for calming you. And it was the music. My grandmother loved to dance. And so we started playing the Cupid Shuffle and all of those line dances, which the names are not escaping me right now. And started dancing for her, and then started dancing with her. And I found that that was starting to bring me into the moment, right? The power of being in the moment. Because I'm worrying about something. I'm not, I'm a little older. I just had a birthday recently, but I'm not in my 90s. So I'm worrying about something that is years away, as opposed to being in the moment with my grandmother. And I know that this mindset shift happened because when I went to visit with my mom, to visit my grandmother with my mom on Christmas Day, and Kelly couldn't come, she's spending Christmas with her family. I played music and I had the best time. So it wasn't just Kelly being there. Like this obviously was transformed in my head. That mindset shift had been made so that I was able to find a way to bring me to the moment and spend wonderful time dancing with my grandmother and had a great time and no longer worry about what's going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't plan for the future. I've, made plans and I'm making plans, but you plan, the way I like to think about it and the way I talk about it when I'm working with people individually about anxieties is I have a worry shelf. And so this anxiety, this worry about what's going to happen to me when I'm 90, I bring it down. I do the things that I can do to plan for the future, make sure that I have my economics straight and, my plans and where I might want to live and a will and all those kinds of things. And then once I do whatever I can do in this moment, I put it up on the worry shelf. It's over there. You know, I can pull it down again, but I don't have to look at it all the time. I don't have to have it going on in my consciousness all the time. I don't have to have it getting in the way of having an absolutely wonderful time connecting in the moment with my grandmother when I'm visiting her. And that's exactly what was happening. When I was worrying about being 90 myself, I wasn't enjoying the 90-year-old in front of me. I wasn't enjoying my time with my grandmother. Now I can. So thank you so much, Kelly. Just want to remind everybody we need the community to help us because even those of us who practice this stuff all the time can't always see it. And that's just the way it is. That's why we are communal animals. Human beings are communal animals. We need each other. And so I so appreciate having a wonderful, strong community that helps me stay focused on spirituality and faith and helps me make the mindset shift when I need to, because I can't do it by myself. None of us can. So that's why we're here together.